Artist. I'm the Fairy Voice Mother, and today I'm going to be reacting to Aurora performing Runaway at the 2015 Nobel Peace Prize concert. I'm so excited to watch this because I know absolutely nothing about Aurora apart from what you've told me. And what you've told me is that she is like a fairy. Therefore, I don't really need to explain why this interests me so greatly, but what interests me even more than that is the fact that so many of you love her very much. I'm sure I'll be no exception. I've only got to remember my ear things. What an organised woman you are. She certainly looks like a fairy. And she's on her tippy toes too, which is most fairy-like indeed.
I was listening to the ocean. I saw a face in the sand, but when I picked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. And I had a dream I was 7, climbing my way in a tree. I saw a piece of heaven waiting in patience for me. And
how beautiful.
And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong.
She is definitely a fairy. All realms of her vocal capabilities, from the agility to the breaks, seem to be a direct consequence of everything but her voice. The rest of her body is guiding her voice to the place her brain wants to take it, or should I say to the place her soul wants it to go. The tone of her voice so far to me sounds very natural. It's likely that she speaks with a similar kind of vocal colour, using similar notes to the ones that she begins this performance with. Her default resonating space seems to be a lifted soft palate and lots of space in the mouth. Her vowels are generally modulated to be back here. I saw a face in the sun. And it makes her voice kind of sound like crystals. She doesn't seem to want to move her larynx down.
But when I picked it up, then it vanished.
Like, you don't get those moments of when I pick warmer, lower resonance. For her, it seems to be all about how she can optimize resonance for what we would call an attractor state. Our attractor state is a term that we use to describe where our voice feels most
fantastic,
where our voice wants to be all the time. Her attractor state, I would guess, is quite high. I reckon she is very comfortable singing very high notes, like probably much higher than this, because higher notes require the same kind of resonance as what she's doing now. Can quite easily turn into but to resonate the voice lower, that's in an entirely new realm and would be completely separate to what she's doing there. She clearly does not feel the need to over manipulate her voice. It makes for a most pure and genuine vocal performance. The voice is kind of just behaving in a way that feels most appropriate to tell this story.
Waiting in patience for me.
That little transition between her thicker voice and her thinner voice, waiting in patience for me, was so subtle, and it just sounded like it kind of slipped out, which just, it really just adds to the impression that you get that everything that she's doing vocal technique wise is organic and coming from a place where expression and storytelling is very much the priority. Honestly, that is ideal and something that most singers and artists are desperate for, to find their vocal identity. We sometimes get so distracted by extremely virtuosic singers with like 5-octave ranges and stuff that we can sometimes ignore what our voice is screaming out to us that it wants to do all by itself. To sing from the same place where we speak is a wonderfully authentic thing to do. We speak the way we do because it comes naturally to us, so we should definitely listen to the kind of sounds that our voices are attracted to and follow them and enhance them. And I'm definitely not saying that you will naturally be able to sing beautifully just by speaking. No, this is where the body movements come in. When we sing, we must remember that we are playing an instrument. In order to do that proficiently, we must involve our body, because our voice is our body. So how I like to describe it is, you bought little Johnny his first violin and he picks it up, goes at it hammer and tong, having the time of his life, unconsciously contacting bow with strings, much to the dismay of his entire postcode. But when you watch someone like Hilary Hahn play the violin, for example, it is so obviously a full body experience. That is a necessary factor in producing the optimum sound out of that particular instrument. The voice is no exception.
I can't take it anymore. I was painting a picture. The picture was a painting of you, and for a moment I thought you were here, but then again it wasn't true. And all this time I have been lying.
Those transitions
lying
are so
secret to
flawless.
myself. I've been putting sorrow on the forest place on my shelf. Da-dee-da. And I was running far away. Would I even love the world someday?
How beautiful.
Nobody knows, nobody knows. I was dancing in the rain, I felt in love and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got
Oh, she's
no
so
other place
free.
to go. No, take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore.
The melody is so basic, yet it's the most expressive, flamboyant thing in the world. This synchronicity between body and voice is not something that one can choreograph. This is so obviously coming from intuition. You just hang on her every word and you can visualize this beautiful little pixie dancing in the forest. God, it's all just so bloody perfect. I get it. Yes, I get it. It's a wonderfully spiritual experience. I'm enjoying it very much so far.
But I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running.
Oh, she is really soaring up to those high notes with no effort. The breath that introduced those high notes ensured that the voice was kept in this backwards, airy, spacious position. And I kept running. In that instance, she lowered the soft palate and kept the resonance more here. And that was a lovely pivotal moment of this performance, because it's the first instance where we've had a real contrast in vocal qualities, like a very stark contrast, very strong and then very airy. She does change vocal colours all the time, but they're so perfect and natural sounding that it's not something where you can be like, oh yeah, she's gamed that to be different, and that no, like it just seems to flow wherever the notes seem to be in her voice. She kind of breaks in and out of them. Her voice is filled with character and is exciting and varied naturally. So there are transitions between quality of voice, but they seem to range in this kind of scope, like and then everywhere, kind of in between that range and space. Only here do we seem to have had like a which is different, if that makes sense. Let's continue, there's more.
For a soft place to fall. And I was running far away. Would I run off the world someday? But no, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. No, take can't take it anymore.
How glorious to witness such a liberated human being. She's asking, where is it that she belongs? Meanwhile, very much belonging exactly how she is. I see someone that's actually extremely connected and enjoying a human experience that is much closer to the one that I think we were all intended to have. An experience where you can express yourself and ask questions and move intuitively and freely and talk about nature as if it is part of us, which it is. We are nature. I think she is actually a glimpse of what the human experience could be like if we get rid of our preconceptions and addiction to comparing ourselves to everyone else. In nature, everything is very different. Like, a tree is very different to a squirrel. Why should we be any different? She's inspired me very much. She uses her voice to express a whirlwind of emotions. No more, no less. And for that reason alone, yes, she's extremely magical and a wonderful role model to singers and humans in general, because this is what it looks like to express yourself and be free. Thank you so much for watching this video with me today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If there are any singers you would like to see me react to, please do let me know in the comments, as it is always my pleasure. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again next time. Mwah. Bye.